Damn, son, where'd you find this?
People don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who act like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lied.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late. They cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
Yo, what's up? What's up, man? Hey, happy Monday. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. I thank you all for being here. Happy Monday. How's your day started? How's your evening going? It's good to be here, man. Amongst the land of the living. I'm very humble and very grateful. We had a chance to chop it up earlier, me and Coach. That was a pretty dope show. I got somebody that I want y'all to meet here in a second. I got the crew in the building. You see the title. Matter of fact, let me put this up on the screen as well, so y'all know what we about to get into real quick. Coach Sid, I got Charmaine, I got Rob, I got Zay in here, man. Let's have a good time, man. Start this week off. Let's bring everybody up on the big screen. I'm gonna wait till Sid get on cam. She in the studio. I'm gonna bring her up in a second. My man looked like he healed. I hope you feeling good, bro. Rob, I see you, man. Coach, what's good? Charmaine, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing this Monday? What's the word, everybody? All right, I see Sydney. All right. What's up?
Hello. Just got done chasing the dog because I was trying to bring him in, and he's like, "Oh, we're playing." I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're not."
All right. Let's do this. Y'all want to go around real quick intro. Rob, you ain't get a chance to meet Charmaine yet, so Rob, Charmaine, Rob. Squish Arcana, I see you in the building, brother. Salutes to you, sir. This is how we're gonna do this. I got the clip. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but this is for you. This is for the viewers. They're sitting on a podcast. There's a anonymous call. I think that's pretty much what they do. They take random calls and they give advice. I don't know if it's for parody or what, but this lady comes on the show, and it got a little interesting to say the least. So we're going to do a rotation. We're going to start with the ladies first. Then we'll go. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move me down here. I'll put Sid up here. We'll go Sydney, Charmaine, Coach, Rob, and then Zay. Let me bring this up on the big screen real quick.
It is. I just recently, well, not recently, but I found out last year around Thanksgiving that my best friend is sleeping with my husband. The only problem, Angela, is I'm messing with her dad, and her dad is a very successful man. And if I let them find out that I know about them messing around, it's gonna ruin my chances of him still sending me income every month. So I don't know what to do. Should I blow my cover?
No, I think you should still keep doing whole shit.
I feel you. You're right.
Keep doing it.
Look,
Embrace it.
No,
Embrace it.
quick question though. Does your friend know that you're sleeping with her dad or no?
No, if I ruin a relationship with her dad loves her. He's very overprotective of her. So if I ruin a relationship with her, I also ruin like my money because he sends me a very nice allowance every month.
Well, what about your husband?
Yeah, how you feel about him?
I love him. We have 3 kids together.
I feel like everybody's happy then. Your husband is sleeping with your friend, and you sleeping with your friend's father. So
you don't
I
even
think
sound. Yeah, you don't even
that,
sound
right.
like
I feel like that's a great cycle.
I am that because I feel a sense of betrayal in a way because that's my husband.
No.
You feel like you feel like a little bit of a hypocrite, and you want to keep getting your money.
You over there putting your mouth on that old man. Don't do that.
But that ain't your best friend.
It is. It still could be best friends. It's still she sleep on her father.
How did you find out?
So both of them were not responding to my phone calls one day. And so I tracked her location because me and her share locations with each other. And I checked her location. When I got there, they were at a restaurant sitting outside having lunch.
I like this.
And I was like, how disrespectful can you be?
I like this.
Okay, so they know you know.
No, like I sat outside. Like, of course, I scoped them out for a while.
I don't know how you ain't run up on them.
No, I like this for you though. I like this for you.
Thank you. I love this for me too.
Yeah, I like you embrace your wholeness.
So my secret is
We're gonna do initial thoughts first. I got some questions lined up. I just want to get everybody's take off of the reaction to the video. So we'll go from Sid across the board down to the bottom, and then we'll go to the actual questions. You on mute.
I thought I pressed it, but my bad. I'm shocked by everyone in this video. Number one, the woman. I couldn't tell by her timeline if she was sleeping with the dad. It seemed like she was saying she was sleeping with the dad even before she found out her friend was cheating with their husband. But the gall to say that, oh, I love my husband, we have 3 kids together, then why are you sleeping with your friend's dad? And then she's worried that it's going to ruin their relationship. And then also the hosts, how they were seemingly encouraging it. I don't know if they were doing that just for the views and for the rage bait and whatever, but how he was like, no, you do you, live the whole life. Like, oh my God, this is really what people are doing these days? Like, this whole video was one after another of me going, wow, oh my God, wow. So Yeah, this was something else.
Charmaine, how you feeling?
I think I had to rewatch the video about like probably 3 more times to really understand what she said, make sure I heard what she said. But I think also it's like what um what homie was saying, what Angela Yee, like you yeah, it was probably his so his thing was like really out of sarcasm. And I understood that because yeah, keep doing your whole shit. But at the same time, that's also betrayal on both ends because you're sleeping with your best friend to get back at her for sleeping with your husband. What was the point of that? Like, what made like somebody knows something in order to make it make sense on how everything has gone. And then it's also like you gotta know because how would you have just popped up and then just be watching them, like eat lunch or something like that? Somebody knows something, and you're not gonna say who know, but hey, at the end of the day, it's your business, it's y'all business, and this is really how people move in real life, and how that gets messed up in marriages, how they get messed up in other families and all that. Especially when you got 3 kids, and you still gonna keep messing with him. Do you, boo boo? But you know, understand that everybody is betraying somebody, and somebody's going to get hurt at the end of the day of it all. But hey,
Coach, you got it.
Yeah, I'll donate my time to Zay. Welcome back, brother.
Rob, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, where I'm from, that ain't nothing new. Like I said, y'all can have panels on me for years. That ain't nothing new though. The new stuff now is they're coming out in public like that. You can just call. I mean, they used to have stuff, this Wendy Williams type stuff, but nobody really in the hood. Everybody will know what's going on. But now you got all these outlets, and they, like I said, they had them, but now with the socials and all that, you could post that 20 places, but that ain't nothing new.
What about you, Zay?
Yo, honestly, I saw this topic coming as soon as I saw Angela V coming. But I just think it's crazy. It's beyond messy. That's for sure. I heard these stories all the time on the radio, and it's mind-boggling to me. That's all I gotta say. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, you really don't think this stuff real because it be so wild. It's hard to believe that people really move like that. But then you remember that this world is big as hell. And everybody don't move like you. Right? Some people just don't have no type of boundaries whatsoever. They habitual line steppers all across the board. The older I got, the more I realized, yeah, I really shouldn't be surprised at all. But again, to what Rob said, it would be different if she showed her face and she was owning up to it. She's doing it behind the security of a device where nobody can actually analyze who she is and go back and blow her cover. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. My first question, and I already know we probably already answered the question to this. Was this solid advice from the panel? I mean, she called in for something, and what they basically told her was to embrace being what you are. Was this solid advice? Was this really them holding her accountable? We talk about that all the time.
It's definitely not, at least in my opinion, that is not solid advice. Solid advice would be encouraging somebody to be forward, upfront, honest with the people in their lives. If she truly cared about those people, one, she wouldn't have been doing that stuff in the first place, but two, she would have had the dignity to tell them what she was doing, being honest with them, because not only is she messing with her husband's life and her best friend's life, but she's also messing with her kids' lives. Like, people underestimate how much damage parents cheating do on the children, because the children are going to learn that people can't be trusted. They might be left. Some people that they get in a relationship might not care about them, and they're going to either be very suspicious of their partner and have a hard time trusting people, or they're just going to be like, well, everyone's like that, so I'm going to be that way too. And they're going to end up being the cheater, the serial dater, the serial, I'm going to sleep around with whoever I want. So I definitely don't think that was very good advice at all. It's definitely advice that would get views, but it's not good advice if you want to be a decent person.
Same question to you, Charmaine. Was this good advice? Were they trolling? Were they being genuine when they said what they said? Did you really read too much into it? Did you take them serious?
I would have to agree with Sid that it wasn't good advice. And also add that that was just something small. Like, we don't know the full backbone story or the full backbone question to what was probably asked. And we only just got that little bit. However, it doesn't change on it was still bad advice. It was definitely probably trolling. It was definitely probably just trying to get something out there so that the show could get more views, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it really is hurting everybody. Every role that is being played in the family dynamic is getting hurt all the way down to the kids. And there's nothing that really can change that unless somebody in one of those three roles come face forward with accountability and say, this is what it is, this is what happened, this is what we did, and that be that. Because at the end of the day, divorce will probably be on the table. Divorce and hurt of a friendship will probably be on the table at the end of the day. If accountability and responsibility was ever to come into that factor, if that makes sense.
Coach, we talk about accountability all the time. Mano ain't no regular person. Angela Yee ain't no regular person. They have a platform. They reach a large audience. This woman called in for some advice. Was it the type of accountability that you expect? Is it traditional advice? Is it real advice? I mean, but how you feel?
Yeah, she called into a show, so I don't know what type of advice she's looking to get from a show. Like I always tell you, if you're gonna look for advice, find a subject matter expert. Don't call a radio show and say you need help with your life. So I would probably reach out on the limb and say no, they didn't give her good advice. And some other things that, like they said, and Charmaine kind of mentioned on is if you're exhibiting this type of behavior with your parent, this is obviously some type of learned behavior. So you're coming from a toxic environment. And then you, whether jokingly or not, but you comfortable enough to talk about this type of toxicity on live air. Again, it goes back to the lack of boundaries that parents have with their kids. And then it also goes back into the learned behaviors. So I'm gonna go out there on a limb and say probably it wasn't good advice to even laugh and joke about that type of situation of being in that dynamic with your father. So I think that in itself just talks about the impact on how it could have on to somebody mentally, the type of relationships you have with your parents.
Rob, you got.
I don't know. A lot of time, I think a lot of that stuff be scripted. I think to play the devil's advocate, Mano was probably trolling because the girl said that the man gives her allowance. And a lot of times what I know, people be knowing already way before. So that could have been her 5 minutes of fame. We'll call up because regardless of what they said, it didn't seem like she was going to stop. She said, yo, he pays me a sizable allowance, so I really ain't going to mess up my money. So that part right there, they could have said, stop, whatever. But, it's that it's the drama the drama they looking for. So, and I seen what rest in peace, that guy, what's his name, Kevin Samuels. I seen him like talk way worse. You know what I'm saying? And how he popped up. They say he had been around for a while, whatever, but that's the kind of conversation he was having with people all the time. Then you had I'm thinking about Steve Harvey with the letter. What was the letter when they picked the different letter that the viewers send up, and they have all of this drama. So it's just a new form. Like I said, I think he was just trolling.
Jay, was it trolling? Bad advice? Both?
Well, let's be real, man. This show was typically a spinoff of, the Breakfast Club. Everyone knows the Breakfast Club. So, me personally, I stopped following along with this show, but I've tuned in a couple times, and it's always the same story. It might be different people, but it's always the same story. And me personally, I think this family dynamic is so bogus because never mind the accountability. It's just so inauthentic how a father who claims to be overprotective of his daughter gonna be fucking around with his daughter's best friend. Then you got a wife who claims that she loves her husband, and a husband who claims that, well, I don't know, we don't hear that much information about the husband or the best friends, they're thinking of the situation, but you could already tell that everything about this dynamic is out of whack. And it's just so, it's the lack of honesty. And the fact that Mano and Angela, they are feeding into this toxicity by saying it's okay. Especially Mano, I don't take anything that nigga says seriously. But I'm gonna be honest, it might have brought a few laughs, but it's still not. It's not right. It's just not right.
Yeah. I did. All right. To answer the question, I don't believe in the show. I think the show is full of shit. I think the show is for drama, is for clicks and views and clip farming. Most people don't really care about positive discussions. if this was real, which I highly doubt it was, but if it was real, these are the last two I would take advice from. I do disagree with the idea that you can't get advice from people from certain platforms. I do agree with the intentions behind some folks, because I think a lot of content creators, whether it's Mano or it's the Breakfast Club, I think most of them, they care more about monetary gain than they do actually helping the person. Kevin Samuels, what I respected, he was aggressive, and you might not have liked his delivery, but he was honest and he was very like transparent about how he felt. I didn't agree with everything, but at least he told you, like, yeah, this is this and this is that. Like, he gave you numbers, gave you statistics. Long answer, nah, horrible. No, short answer, horrible advice. Long answer, that was poor. It just was poor all over. My other question, second question: are exes or spouses of family and friends off limits? So, if you are friends with someone for X amount of time, they know you, they know your partners, y'all split up. Are they allowed to pursue them or anybody in your family while you know them or after the fact that y'all split?
This is where conversation has to come in, and truth, like being upfront with the person, because some people care and some people don't. And if you are going to pursue, I think it's slightly different with exes versus family members. If you're going to pursue somebody's ex, you really got to talk to them, because first of all, depending on how long they're together, there could be a lot of emotions involved, negative emotions. The aspect of they knew that person intimately, and by you getting in a relationship with that person that knew your friend intimately, there's a chance that you could accidentally cause a rift because you are told things by the ex that cause issues between you, whether it's true or even lies. With family members, I think you also need to ask, but this one I would say is a little bit more out of respect, because not saying that the ex isn't out of respect, but for family members, you really should ask, because some people do have an issue with somebody going after a family member or finding out that they're in a relationship with somebody that is part of their family. So I think that in both situations, you should ask them first, have a conversation, be honest with them why you want to get involved with the person, and make sure that this person is actually okay. And based on their answer, respect that. So I don't think it's necessarily always off limits, but it really depends on that person, because as I said, everyone's going to have a different reaction to that. And just out of respect for the person, the relationship, and their past, you should still ask. And then just an aside, with family members too, you'll be able to get insight into the person, because maybe the friend that you have is like, yeah, you don't want to date this person because they have XYZ issues. So it can also kind of give you a little bit of a insight before you choose to get in that relationship, but always ask.
I think same with Sydney. Like my sentiments was really going through. Like I think it really depends, and I think it also depends on the dynamic of family. Like if it's immediate family, probably not. Probably gonna be a hard no. If it's like down the line, extended third, fourth, fifth, sixth, cousin, whatever, soft maybe, soft no, soft maybe. But it also depends on what is what has gone on in the relationship. Whether or not, whoever was involved while, say, you was involved with this person, you know, you could see for yourself, okay, down the line, maybe I would date them, maybe I won't date them, even if they got a crush on me or not. It really just depends out of that perspective, as well just as respect for all parties, also asking, but also being in tune with the mindset of, okay, if I date this person or if I deal with this person, this is what comes with it. And have to be okay with knowing that this is what it comes with this person. Because if you're not okay with it and you saw the red flags, just like the other person saw the red flags, that's why they went through what they went through, then you got to get out of Dodge. But if you're okay with that person and their personality and everything that they had going on, even while they was dating whoever, or while they was dating your family or your friend, then all right. The world still goes around, and clearly you love it. The rest of the world we like you, regardless of opinion. Um, but that's really, but yeah, like that's really just what it comes down to at the end of the day. But I digress.
Yeah, I say like everybody else, it's all about communication. So having the right conversations, open mindedness, and then being able to, you know what I mean, be open minded and have that conversation. I think anything is possible.
In that case, I'm gonna say no, and I'm talking from the mature me. I learned that the hard way. Some people off limits, and remember, you most dangerous when you think you're right. I could see like if they was maybe strangers or something, but some people now I know, and some people just off limits. There's some situations you leave alone. I don't care how tempting, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You leave that alone. In this case, I would say no because she did it to get revenge. And then the dad is messing with her friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't the right case. I could see if nobody was cheating and then they came together. He said, "Yo, your friend's pretty hot." Woo, woo, woo. If nobody was cheating, and but in that case, no, that was all like that's the last thing you do is because two wrongs don't make it right. Now, the only thing I could think of is in that case is it's a crazy thing. I keep Scarface the movie when Manolo married Tony's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Bang.
I always felt like, damn, he shouldn't have killed Manolo. They would have been stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like they was truly in love, and that was his brother. But he made it clear from the beginning that he ain't want him to have his sister. So, like I said again, with this case, not the way that went about. No.
Agree, disagree, Zay?
No, for me, I feel like I can't answer this question because I'll get too personal with it. But I feel like there's bro code and then there's girl code. It's not just about your friends, it's with your family too. You know, I heard that, in my experience, if I were to go and date my friend's ex, my friend will cut me off right then and there. If I were to, if I was a father, I don't know, maybe the lines are blurred when you have the moment you have kids. But if I was a father, I know that I wouldn't cross that line, because there's a line. There's some lines that shouldn't be crossed, and I feel like as a wife, you know, you shouldn't cross that line. As a husband, you shouldn't cross that line. As a father, you shouldn't cross that line. You know, but that's just me. That's just in my experience. But I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too personal with it. So I use the mic.
There's 8 billion people in this world. You telling me you can't find somebody outside of our personal space? It's something taboo about it. I think that's why folks are so attracted to that type of danger. It's like, oh, this is kind of forbidden. So I think it's weird. I think it's actually weird. I do not want to partake in any type of activities with someone that my partner just finished doing his thing with. It's gonna feel too weird. It's gonna be like, bruh, did you just finish on her face, or like did you do some things with her, and I can't, like I couldn't see myself doing that. Family is definitely off limits as far as I'm concerned. I just look at this like there's too many people out here in the world that you can go after versus being on the inside. That Scarface situation, nah, bro, he was adamant. He told him multiple times. He wasn't playing about that. He was dead serious about it. And that's why I said, like, it's taboo. It's like, oh, you telling me I can't have it? Oh, they make me want it more. And that'll get you hemmed up. That temptation, that desire, that need. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with everybody here for different reasons. That communication. I highly doubt people are going to just tell you, hey, look, I like your sister. Can I such and such and such and such, or I like this person. I don't see a lot of people doing that in 2026. But if you bold enough to do it, more respect to you. But I think I end up looking at you differently because I know you personally. I know how you are. Matter of fact, put it this way. If I know you and I can tell that you ain't nothing, or I'm trying to watch my language, yeah, that's definitely gonna be a hell no. If I thought you was a decent person and your history and your past wasn't so messed up, I would probably still have my reserves about it. But you have a better argument than someone that I know ain't really good for nothing. Let me go to this next one. If you knew your friend was cheating, do you say something or do you keep it to yourself? Do you hold them accountable for the infidelities by going back to the person that they're cheating on? And what I mean is you know your friend, that means by default you know her partner. I'm not talking about somebody that she just randomly met and she's been dating for a few weeks. Somebody that you actually know and you cool with them just as much as the friend. If she's cheating or he's cheating, do you say anything to either or do you just keep that to yourself?
Well, I think first you should give your friend the opportunity to tell their spouse themselves. So you shouldn't just like you find out over text and immediately call the husband. Guess what? You should definitely talk to your friend and like try and reason with them and like encourage them be honest, to be upfront with their spouse, and maybe even give them advice or whatnot, to encourage them to make the right decision. But I think if they're continuing to prolong it and they're straight up refusing, like, I'm not going to tell them, I don't care, I'm whatever, I think I have mixed feelings about this, because I don't like to get involved. I personally don't like to get involved in other people's business. But I do think that if somebody is being cheated on, and you know that other person is not going to come forward, I think you do kind of have a duty as a human being to be honest about that situation. Just for the sense that prolonging those lies is going to only hurt that other person. But again, I think you should still give the opportunity to the cheating spouse to come forward themselves before you go and do all that.
That's dicey. Because on one hand, I think if it's my close friends that I tell everything to, I'm going to give them that advice to be like, hey, I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You need to just go ahead in some way, somehow, shape, or form, and let your partner know that you did this. Like, because if you don't, it's only going to damage and it's going to prolong the hurt in the long run. If it's an associate of a friend or association of friends that I don't really care for, I'm not saying a word. It's your business. Because on one hand, we just associates. We cool, but we not really cool. And I really don't feel like I owe it to you to give you the advice of how you need to move. Because that's your business. But at the same time, I think for me, I will also be like, throw a hint if it was an associate friend, like, hey, to their partner, you might want to talk to them, because yeah, it's not my business, but I think you should just have a conversation to see what's up and carry on, because nobody wants to be in the middle. Nobody likes being in the middle of conflict, of the in between of two people, whether it's a love, whether it's an agree to disagree, whether it's a like. Nobody likes to be in that middle, and so that's where it'll be left in that situation, in those two cases, and that's that.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, not me. No, she smoked that. I mean, I agree with what they said. So,
Rob,
I told you now. I know how to mind my business. If it's my friend, I'm gonna be like, yo, is that, are you okay? But I'm not telling that. We don't. That's one thing we don't do. I lose a lot of cool points or whatever. But if that's my family and my friend, cause that's why I don't even counsel adults. I don't, cause I already did enough, and adults don't change till they want to. And at the end of the day, if it's your loved one, even them, you gotta let them figure that out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in the middle of that when that blow up. That could kill your friendship, your relationship with your family, and whoever else is around you. So a lot of times you just gotta, but you can be an encouraging person and be like, oh, hey, you ain't living right, or I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? And you make sure that you separate from them situations, like we not double dating and all that. So yeah, whoever I came in with, that's who I'm gonna be with to the end.
How about you, Zay?
I agree with all of y'all. You know, it's the moment you put your input on a topic, you're either a friend or an enemy, depending on the topic. And you know, I played coming from someone who's been a cheater and who's also been the cheated. You know, it takes pieces of your soul when you are in that situation. And all I can say is if you are unable to tell your friend of their discrepancies in their adultery, if you aren't able to talk to them about it, talk to God about it. He'll hear you out, you know, and he will fix the situation for you. You don't even have to bring it to their attention. All you gotta do is take it to God. Because he's already aware of the cheating. He's already aware of it. So if you are feeling so if you're feeling like what's the word I'm looking for? If you are upset that your friend is either cheating or getting cheated on, and you are unable to take it to that person, God will hear you out. And God will fix the situation. Result is what I'm saying.
I'm detaching myself from cheaters. I'm removing myself from liars. I'm removing myself from manipulators. I don't want no part of it. I don't care how long I knew you. Because it doesn't have nothing to do with loyalty at this point. Well, it does. I have to maintain my own, and I can't be associated like that because I don't want nobody looking at me and saying, "Oh, well, you holding secrets and you doing this and doing that for them." So how does that look like on you? Are you the same way? And I don't really support it because my thing is don't even be bothered dealing with a person if you don't have any intentions or true intentions on being loyal or faithful in the first place. Uh, so I'm with you on the praying part. I would prefer to just take all of my problems and issues to God. I've learned the hard way, just like you. 2026. I'm not really going to speak on too much of anything that's really personal like that. Whether or not it's internal or it's something that I observe, I'll just go to my quiet place, leave it at the altar, and then I'll go on with the rest of my day. Because um, as much as I would love to confide in people, you can't do that with everybody. It's only but a small few. So I will leave that alone. Um, and whatever smoke come from what you created, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, if you come to me for advice or you ask me something, I'll tell you, yeah, this is this. But outside of that, nah, I'm not hopscotching. I'm not playing jump rope. Uh, I got two more. Do you believe her friend was always after her husband and vice versa? Because we done spoke about it already. It seemed like she already knew like some stuff was going on. And my thing is, yeah, it does kind of come off like you already had your eye on this person and you were waiting for an excuse and a reason to step in there, right? So do you think that they already had like this weird energy going on within this foursome, and that's why it played out the way it did?
My bad. Sorry, my kid was distracted. Can you repeat the question?
The question was, do you believe that the friend was always checking out her husband and vice versa, and she was always checking out her father?
Well, obviously we don't know the full extent of the relationship, so I can't say if she was fiending for the dad or the friend was fiending for the husband the whole time. But just one of the telling things to me that she said was she commented on how the husband or the father of her friend was well off and he was making a lot of money and that type of stuff. So part of me, because she said that, makes me think that it was more of an opportunistic hookup or relationship. I don't even know what to call it. So she might not have been looking specifically at him, but she might have already been kind of seeking other things beyond her marriage already. And that just happened to be the opportunity that presented itself. Without knowing their full history, I don't think I can properly say she was already looking at him or not from the beginning on both ends of the cheating relationships. But just given what I know about the psychology of cheaters, it usually just doesn't come out of the blue. Usually there's a buildup. Usually there's a pattern that has already been occurring that leads the person to become more likely to cheat, with the exception of like actual personality issues. So I definitely think there was a buildup to it, but I don't know for sure if she was actually like pining for the father the whole time and then turned it into something. But yeah, there was definitely a path to get her there.
I think it could have been either or. Meaning like it could have been the friend really could have been feeling the husband. And we don't know what went on in there. We don't know really the full thing. We don't know if they had issues or whatever. But that could have led to that, which led her to dealing with dad, even though it probably wasn't, somebody that was probably on her radar. But as opportunist, she saw fit to why not just get back. And the same thing vice versa with the husband. He could have been feeling a friend. We don't know. But at the end of the day, like, regardless of who was feeling who, she was still the opportunist and just went on with it and took that and ran with it. And that's how she ended up in her situation.
SM, salutes to you.
Rob. Yeah, impulse control, man. Still certain situations when I put myself in, or when I get put in, I still can't control my impulses. So with that, a lot of times things be happening. You might not intend to do it or whatever. But I will say this. First, when you realize you was wrong, you know you messed up. Like dude from a Menace to Society, you know you done effed up. But at the same time, when that stuff happens, 99.9% of the time, somebody close to you. And a lot of times people want what you have. A lot of times people think if they was in your shoes, they would, if I had that or if I had this person, it would be right. And you realize after you done did something stupid, like, nah, it wasn't going to work. What made you think that? But a lot of times, again, most of the time when something is somebody very, very close that knows your ins and out, that knows your schedules, that knows what you're thinking. And like Sid said, it's a build-up. And then when you get put to the test or whatever, you end up doing what you did. But yeah, a lot of times them feelings was probably already there.
Or choose eight.
All I can say is there's a whole lot of lust going around. Pretty sure Rob spoke on it before. Once temptation is in the vicinity, you got a choice that you got to make. Once you internally made that choice, the 3D is just gonna mirror what you already said in your head. You're just gonna follow through with your choices. So yes, I do think that it was already talked about. I do think it was already, the choice was already made from the get-go. The moment that her friend saw the dude, or the moment the husband saw the friend, I do know it's an inner decision. That's all it takes. As someone who struggled with lust, I will know it's all it takes is one inner decision. And it seems like everyone, like Rob said, gave in to their impulses. And this is exactly what's going to happen. A family dynamic full of lust. So there is no buts about it.
I'll add this before we close out. Keep your relationships private. Everything does not need to be imparted on the ears and eyes of everybody in your circle. Because the reality of it is, you think that everybody in your circle is for you, and they're really not. Some of them are monitoring spirits. Their assignments are completely different than what you think they are, and they move with intentions. I agree with Rob, and I agree with you. There was a seed that was planted. As soon as you lay your eyes on something shiny, it's a wrap. Especially if that's your vice. And for this to have happened specifically the way it did for them, I'm almost certain that there are other patterns that we don't know nothing about. Because if you're willing to do that with your friend's husband and the dad, I know you have a history too. You don't have no boundaries at all. And I can't see I wish I knew more. I can't see whether or not this guy was a good husband or not, because she's still married to him. She says she still love him and all that stuff. So I can't understand or wrap my mind around someone that's actually doing all the right things, still getting played the way that they are. And you come on a talk show to expose yourself privately about your indiscretions, while simultaneously trying to say, well, I married him and had kids with him, but I still wasn't satisfied, so I stepped outside of it to do this with this person because she did it with that person. That's not your friend. And a lot of people move like this, just like somebody said earlier. Y'all better be cautious and very careful with the people that you invest your time into and who you become intimate with. I'd hate to be the person that's getting talked about on a social media account the whole time. I'm the one that's I'm the husband, and yeah, like that's that whole thing is crazy to me. I'm good on that. Anybody want to add anything before we close out? You can. I do want to shout out SM, shout outs to Arcana. Appreciate y'all for being in the building. Charmaine, salutes to you. Your first day up here officially, and I think you absolutely smashed it from the beginning to the very closing of the show. Zay, it's good to see you back up here, bro. Rob, good to see you back, bro. I you know what I'm saying? I love these discussions, these different opinions. Sydney, as always. Anybody want to say anything before we get out of here?
I do want to say one thing. I find it incredibly ironic that she kept saying, "Oh, I love my husband," because the definition of love is deep affection, attachment, and selfless concern for another's well-being and commitment. Which, when you're cheating, you're not showing any of those things. And so I always find it very ironic when I hear cheaters saying, "Well, I love my partner." Really? Because if you did love your partner, you wouldn't have chosen to make that decision. Or if you were going to make that decision, you would end it with them before you move on to the next person. So I just wanted to point out that irony, how she was, "Oh, I love him." No, you don't. You really don't. And then also, I just wanted to say welcome. It was a joy to have you in the conversation, and also welcome back, Zay. I'm glad to see you're doing better.
All right, well, look, we about to get up out of here, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed one. Drive safe if you're leaving out in the morning, and let the week be well with you all. All right. Oh, do me a solid.
Bye-bye.
All right, see y'all later.